This is exactly what our adversaries want, to see this deterioration of an alliance that has so much history. Wolf.
I want to bring in retired U.S. Army General, former NATO Supreme Allied Commander Wesley Clark. He's joining us right now. General Clark, thanks so much for joining us. Let me first of all get your reaction to Prime Minister Trudeau's condemnation of what the Trump administration is doing here.
Well, I think he's exactly right when he says that it's not about fentanyl. What is it about? What is it about when you want to sever the relationship with your closest ally? You know, you're worried about Chinese and Russian ships in the Arctic, and so we're going to have a breach of our work with Canada. It doesn't make sense. And so when you try to understand this, it doesn't make economic sense, doesn't make strategic sense. It's just a break in the way that the U.S. operates. And yes, the market's going down, Wolf, because when you look at something like this, it's not just about the tariffs. It's about the credibility of the United States. It's about the trustworthiness of the president. It's about what kind of leadership he brings to the United States. There were issues in the election. People knew this, but people were concerned about the economy. Let's look at the economy. But I'm concerned about what's happening in global affairs and U.S. security. And when I see what's being done to Canada, a nation that's always been our ally, when I was NATO commander, I couldn't have gotten any stronger support from any nation than I did from Canada, as strong as the support I had from the United States. And yet, here we are isolating Canada and isolating the United States, really, from our nearest neighbors. It's a real threat to U.S. security. It's not about fentanyl. It's about how to keep America safe, and this isn't the way to do it.
It's hard to believe that this is going on. General Clark, the Wall Street Journal, in that editorial today, Trump takes the dumbest tariff plunge. They also write this: Mr. Trump is whacking friends, not adversaries. Do you agree with that?
I do. And you know, well, if I was talking to some other analysts this morning, some very smart people on the inside, I think some people working in the administration really understand that President Trump's being played by Mr. Putin. But I don't know if President Trump really understands that. After smashing our relationships with allies, and I'm sure this will make President Putin really happy too, after doing this and enticing Putin to come to the table, what are we going to say to him? He's going to ask for more and more and more. What's it really about? And so I look at this as a severe departure from a normal pattern of United States national security processes. We're bipartisan. We're nonpartisan in national security. And President Trump has come in here and wants to turn the table upside down. He wants to somehow cozy up to Mr. Putin and disregard and insult and separate the United States from our allies. This is not going to end well.
Yeah, it's a very, very serious situation unfolding right now. U.S. credibility with allies on the line right now. General Wesley Clark, thank you very, very much, and we'll be right back.
Amid upheaval and sweeping changes,
the President of the United States,
Trump heads to Capitol Hill to share what's next.